Morning, guys. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Got the necessities. Got my giraffe coffee cup here. So last night after I shut the camera off, I come back out here and I played a little bit. Got some of those. Let me set my coffee cup down. There's the light on. Alright. So that's the spoiler. It's brand new. Come in a box over there. And so I thought, well, I'll set that spoiler on there. Went ahead and tapped some of these down a little bit. And I don't know if you guys will be able to tell that by looking. Yeah, you can see that, I think. This isn't straight. That's pretty shitty. And this is a brand new piece. And it's fiberglass. So it looks like I'm going to get to do a little bit of fiberglass work. I'm assuming that's fiberglass. I think it is. I took my straight edge here. If I can do this with one hand and hold the camera. If you put that straight edge, and look at that gap. Well, shit. There you go. Maybe you can see that. I bet that's 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch gap right there in the center. Rest of it's straight. So that can't be, it's not supposed to be like that. They just half-assed it out of the mold, or so, I don't know what they did. So my guess is I'm going to get to do a little bit of fiberglass work through here. Probably cut this edge down and put me some fiberglass filler in there and try to make that straight, because that's going to look like shit. And like I said, I'm trying to do a lot of attention to detail on this car, and that's just little stuff like that. You walk past and see that, and it's like, and just take a little extra time, put that in there right. It'll make all the difference. So that's kind of where I am this morning. Hell, I'm just kind of getting up and around. You know what time it is. It's 10 o'clock. So yeah, I'll probably piddle with this today. I'll go ahead and open those holes up and get that fitted down in there. Like I said, this is fairly straight. It's really not too bad. I'm pretty happy with the flatness of the panel. It's got a few dents here and there. A little dent here. There's a spot, which here's another deal. Pull this out. You see that? Looks like they ground that out of there. I don't know if that's filler on it. Maybe filler, I don't know. But if it's not, it's steel, and they just hacked it up real bad. But there's a pretty nice dent, and you can see the outline. Maybe you can see the outline of that. Anyway, you can see the shadow. Basically, that's a pretty good dent right there, and somebody tried to fill it or something. I don't know exactly. And there's a couple of little areas under here, and they probably didn't even mess with it because it's underneath this. So, but yeah, that's fiberglass. So, any of you guys that do fiberglass work, I'm not a guru on fiberglass at all. So, like Gasser's Glass or any of you guys, kind of tell me what you think would be the best way to go about filling that low in there and making that straight. My thought was 80 grit this down, run me, from whatever area to whatever area, just run me a skim coat, a filler over that, and then block it out flat, or fiberglass, short strand fiberglass, and block it out flat. I'd like to know, is that going to be a decent repair? Is it going to hold? Is it going to chip off? What kind of issues am I going to run into if I do that? Because I'm not trying to make more work for myself than I already have. So, and I definitely don't want to get it finished and have it you know, crack out or, you know, something like that, because this fiberglass is not the same type of fiberglass as the other type of fiberglass, which, like I said, I don't know shit about fiberglass, so let me know if there's different types of fiberglass and this is not compatible with, you know, that type, or I don't know. And I don't even know if you can tell what type. You know, I'm assuming fiberglass is fiberglass. I don't know. Like I said, we never really did a whole lot with fiberglass at the shop, so this is kind of new to me. But I hate leaving this big indention like that because it just looks like crap, or at least in my opinion. You know, like I said, you go down through there and it's nice and straight, and then right in the center there it just goes whoop. So anyway, so that's what I'm gonna play with today. Kind of get this straightened out, get this to where it'll sit down on there good. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do with the other holes. I need to wait until I get some feedback on what size these holes are, so because I'll probably have to go these holes here. I'll probably have to go buy a hole saw. I've got some, but they're too big. The smallest one I've got is 1 3/8 or 1 3/4. It's almost 2 inches, so that's too big. I don't want the big giant 2-inch hole back there, so I'll have to go buy me like a little 1-inch hole saw or something to cut those out right. But anyway, all right, that's it for now. I'm gonna drink some coffee, and I still got to work these down a little bit. You know, that's not that big of an issue because it's covered up, but I'm trying to get it closer than it was. And like I said, they just ripped it out, literally just ripped it out of there. So I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but again, it is what it is. So we'll fix it. That's what we do. We fix stuff. All right, see you guys. I don't know if you guys are forgetful like me, but I have to write shit down. So, spray inside weld area internal frame coating. If I hadn't wrote that down, I probably would have forgot. And this to me is really important because, you know, I split this door. You can see the crap running out the bottom, but I split this door. Well, it's all solid. It's all weld back there. It's all just bare metal where it penetrated through. So if you don't coat that, you got water running down in here. It's going to start rusting from the inside again. So I got up in there and sprayed that internal frame coating stuff. I don't know how well I'll be able to get in there to show that, but you can see that green pretty much all over the place. And I made a mess with it, but I got in every crevice and got way up inside there in behind that brace where that weld is actually. That weld's hidden by that brace, but I got in there with a wire brush and cleaned in there and got all the brown shit that comes out when you're welding. Got it off, cleaned up as best I could, and then went ahead and covered that with that an internal frame coating. So, you know, hoping to make this stuff like this, make it last for a long time. We definitely don't want the side of the car rusting out right there because, you know, it had bare metal and it's getting wet and stuff in there. So anyway, there you go. Just another little attention to detail thing, I guess you could say. Yeah, if you don't have a board, get one. Unless you're like me, unless you can remember everything, because man, there's so many little things that you can forget, you know. So, all right, that's about it. I just thought about that. I thought I'd bring you back and show you that real quick. See you guys. Look at that. I fixed my jack. My jack wasn't working. It would only go up 6 inches or so. Went and bought me some hydraulic jack oil, bled it out, filled it up. Man, that sucker lifted that car way up. That's awesome. So I thought I was gonna have to buy a new jack, and all it was just a the oil was low and it obviously had air in the cylinder or something. I bled it out and let all the air out, and she's way up there. So I'd show that real quick. I ran out to pick up a couple things. I went and got a hole saw. I was gonna buy just a saw, just a little one deal, and of course I had to buy the whole damn kit. This has got all kinds of different sizes in it, so 3/4, 7/8, inch, 1 1/8, 1.5 inches. So I should be able to get one of those to fit, to make that hole like I want. So yeah, that wasn't cheap either. I spent a lot of my own money on this guy's car. I mean, not necessarily on his car per se, but just buying tools and stuff to fix it, to do it right. But I mean, I'll use it obviously from now on. So, but I probably wouldn't have bought it had I not had to cut a hole. I had some hole saws over there, but they're all too big. But yeah, pretty happy with that. I've always liked this jack because it's one of those real low profile jacks, and you can get it under really low cars. So yep, pretty cool. Anyway, I'm gonna get back on this, and I'll holler at you guys in a little bit. See ya. Alright guys, we got, like one guy said, bullet holes. Got the bullet hole cut out. And there's that one little. Of course, I'll use these as patches. You guys seen me do this before. I'll just beat this down flat and then make a patch. While I got these out though, I'll probably go ahead and widen those holes up and get that deal there, the spoiler fitted up good. And so that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I'll weld those new patches back in, and then use my new little kit there I got to put some new holes. I'm gonna guess these holes are about that size, and that's a 1-inch hole. That looks about like that would be a, you know, pretty good size hole for that. So I may just do that. Do a 1-inch hole over top of each one of these. So we'll see. Talk to you in a little bit. All right. Here's what we got. These things come at an angle, so literally that hole that I'm gonna, you know, patch this back up and cut that hole is gonna have to be up here higher, I'm guessing, to be able to actually get a nut on that and come in at an angle. Some of these, the way they're cut, like that one there, it'd have to be right there, and there's no way. So, or at least right there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how they were from the factory, and just cover this hole back up and figure out a new way. Other than that, maybe coming in from this side and because I can get my finger in there and put the nut on it that way. But that's going to be a pain in the ass to try to tighten that down like that. Same with this one. I can get, it just needs to come out this way a little bit more. And then this one here, it looks like whoever it was, tried to cut a little notch in it to get the nut on before. And oh yeah, the little gaskets. There's little gaskets that came with it. I didn't even look in the box until just a while ago. And yeah, they're just little foam gaskets that go over top of those holes. So luckily they cover. Yeah, I'll have to weld these holes up. I just thought about that. That's where the old Camaro emblem goes, and if I don't weld those shut, well, of course it's going to leak right into the trunk. So that's another thing I'll have to weld up. So I'm thinking about maybe cutting out here, you know, trying to maybe make this extended out. I'm not real sure. I want to make it look nice. I don't want to make it look hacked up like this is. So yeah, these got the little nuts that came with it. Here's another issue. If you look down through here, this little deal here, these are supposed to sit right up against the metal, and you can see it's been I don't know what this is. That's just all hacked up. I mean, that looks like crap. Then it gets high here. Let me back that up a bit. You see, it's low here, high here, then it drops down low again here. It just wavy, 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 this little guy. I'm assuming these are all probably the same height. Another worry I have is when I crank this down, is it gonna flex my hood up? Because I'm gonna have the hood exactly where I want it, where I do right now. So I don't want it to crank the ass into this hood back up, you know, like that, down. Another thing I saw that I really liked was someone took this spoiler like this, and I don't know if it's, I'm assuming it's fiberglass. I'm assuming they're all fiberglass. But they took and cut this whole thing out. This little piece here, cut that completely out to where this is shaved, basically, to where that edge here is going to sit flush on here, and the same underneath there, which I'm going to flip that back over, but yeah, shave this little ledge here off to where that edge is sitting flat on the hood. And you could probably get some kind of a little foam gasket or a rubber gasket to help protect the paint underneath that. But talk about, to me, it'd be a lot cleaner look than to have this jankety thing sticking up all. Yeah, tell me what you guys think about that. Like I said, shaving this seems like a pretty good option. At least, you know, and I could take my little cutoff saw and just run it right down the edge, put my piece of tape there and run it right down that edge, and that'd suck that up and make that a whole lot nicer fit, I think. But man, I hate modifying stuff like this. Like I said, I don't know that much about fiberglass, so anybody knows anything about fiberglass wants to chime in on that, that'd be fantastic. Because yeah, that's just not a very good fit. Doesn't look that good. And so, and I'm gonna assume that this, hopefully this fiberglass will flex maybe a little bit instead of pulling my metal up, but I guess we'll just have to see. Like I said, if I could get a piece of rubber foam of some sort to fit in there as a gasket to squash that down and kind of make it disappear under there, but also protect the paint that's underneath it, because you know, I wouldn't want that. I'm assuming I wouldn't want that fiberglass. Well, I mean, even like this, you would want something, I would think. You wouldn't want to just crank that down because it's going to sit there and rub until it rubs a hole in your paint. So I'm sure they make just rubber gasket material that you could probably cut out or something or whatever. Just put it in there yourself. But anyway, any ideas, I'm all ears. And again, if anybody can show me what the factory RS, not RS, the factory Z28 trunk lid looks like, I would appreciate that, because this is not a factory Z28 lid, obviously. This was just a regular basic Camaro trunk. So that's probably going to be about it for me today. It's 4:30, and I'm kind of at a standstill point until I figure out what I'm going to do with this, whether I'm going to shave it, you know, and where these holes are going to be. Because I can come in from the top where these studs come through and just drill me a brand new hole. Anyway, so there you go. Let me flip this over and kind of show you what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad, I guess, but like I said, I don't know that I ever really paid too much of attention to mine on my car and how, you know, screwed up it is, and I'm sure it is, but I can't hardly leave anything alone. Like I said, I could just bolt that on and walk away, but let me flip this over. Alright, Alright, so there you go. And you know, that's going to squash, those little washers here will squash down when you pull that tight. But, and then we'll have that gap in there. It's going to have to squash down a lot. But I'm assuming that's what these little guys right here is what's going to keep the water from going in those holes and getting in your trunk. But I made it to where I opened the holes up enough to where it's got a little bit of adjustment side to side, that way I can, and I didn't want to get this all painted up and have to have him press that in there or me press that in there and tear the paint up on the edges. I just want it to sit in there real nice and have enough space to where, you know, it just sits in there without tearing anything up. Because before, you couldn't well, obviously they ripped it out of there and pulled the holes up. So yeah, like everything else, you got to fit all this stuff up, make sure it fits right. I'll probably even put the trunk lid back on the car, shut it, check all my gaps, all my stuff, because before I start body working this, because if I do all that and then get it on there and then have to modify something else, then I've wasted my time. So just trying to kind of think ahead a little bit, make sure I don't have to double up on anything. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, cutting these off seems like a pretty good idea. That way this will come down and sit nice and flush, or at least have like a 1/8 of an inch gasket in there that it presses down. Then the water comes up and hits this and runs off the side. It never goes underneath it, because right now, you know, it's going to go underneath that. So I don't know, tell me what you think. And that's it for me today. I'll upload this video and I'll talk to you guys probably Friday, maybe Saturday. So, all right, see ya.